Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Port Charles Chat. I'm Mom.
And I'm Brandon.
Thank you for joining us again today. We're going to be discussing the week of February 10th through February 14th. And Brandon, how are you doing today?
Mom, I'm doing well. How about yourself? How are you doing?
I I am doing fine, Brandon. I am glad that we are finally back on track and that we can release this one on Sunday. Alrighty, so we're going to start off first with our weekend review, and this time I'm doing it a little differently. I'm kind of going to do it by characters, and I just found this is the easy way to kind of wrap this week up. All right, so first let's start with Cyrus. Basically, Cyrus, everyone's after him, everyone kind of believes that he killed Sam and others, and so we have Liz, Jocelyn, Danny, Dante, Chase, Alexis, to name a few who are after Cyrus at this point or believe that he did kill Sam. Um, Number two, Sonny. Sonny did go to the doctor. We discussed this a little last week, and he has now discovered that he needs to have surgery, and that he has to have surgery within about 3 months. Only at this point in time, Natalia and Jason know, as far as we know. And then Sonny also decides to give joint custody of Avery to Ava. That's of course after they meet, but he just kind of decides this is the best thing for him to do for Avery. Jason. Jason returns to town. As we know, he was out last week with Michael. And then when he returns to town, he finds out that everyone thinks that he is the father of Sasha's baby. And of course, Tracy is the one to kindly tell him that. And then, but later, Sasha asks him to pretend like he is the father of her baby. And he agrees. But he does say that he wants Danny to know the truth. And in that episode, he does tell Danny he does tell Danny that he is pretending to be Sasha's baby's daddy. Um, Jason, on the other hand, has to rescue Daddy. Daddy finds out by overhearing a conversation, or I think Rocco tells him rather, that Cyrus is the one who murdered his mother. And so he goes down to Charlie's and threatens Cyrus. Jason goes down, he has to rescue him. So he threatens Cyrus in the process, and later on, Jason ends up in jail because of it. Sidwell. Sidwell meets more people of Port Charles. We discover later on at the end of the week that Sidwell and Natalia were actually previously married, and that I think is supposed to be the surprise. I'm going to go on record by saying that I had guessed that early enough. That though I don't think I said it on here, but I did tell Brandon that previously I thought that Sidwell and Natalia would have a past together. Um, and then Sidwell also says that he wants to use Pier 55, and I believe that's the name of the number of the pier. But regardless, this is actually Sonny's pier where he does his business, and he says this in a meeting with Jordan and with Curtis. Curtis, once Sidwell leaves the table, does indicate that he doesn't want anything to do with Sidwell because no one really should be messing with Sonny, basically. And he doesn't like the way that Sidwell's kind of presenting himself. He does tell that to Jordan. All right, now on to Sasha. Sasha realizes that with the help of Felicia, she comes to realize that a private investigator is kind of following her and taking notes on things that she's doing. And so she kind of and so Sasha decides to actually try to get the notes from the private investigator. In the midst of doing that, the woman is, I don't know if she's grazed by a car, hit by a car, but anyway, she's one of those things. But Sasha does stay with her and helps her out in the hospital. And at the end, Elaine is the person who is the private investigator. She's been seen previously in General Hospital with her dog Mavis, and she decides to tell Sasha that she was kind of hired to be a private eye and to investigate her. And then Sasha also is good with everyone who thinks that Jason is the father of her baby. Now we move on to Cody and Molly. Who I guess is our new hot couple. But anyway, they get locked on the roof of the hospital. And so we spend, for day purposes, we see them for 2 days on the roof. Nina and Carly, we'll take them as a group. Nina and Carly agree to work together to kind of break up Willow and Drew. And then also, Nina almost tells Willow about her involvement with Drew, but she's kind of interrupted. Alexis. Alexis meets with Jason at the police station because Jason is taken down to the police station for questioning and later arrested. But she lets Jason know that she does not want Jason to do anything to Cyrus. She herself wants to help take down Cyrus. Lulu has a moment where she bonds with Christina. Then Lulu also has a moment where she kind of works in Bobby's. Um, and then Jocelyn, last person who I'm going to bring up today. Jocelyn is questioned by the police, and if I remember correctly, she was arrested also. And so that is what I have for following up with everyone this week. Bran, who did I leave off?
This was such a busy but yet not eventful but eventful week. But I think for the most part that you have it covered.
Okay, good. Glad to hear. All right, now let's get down to the fun part. Let's get down to our I say awards of the week per se. And so, anyway, performers of the week. For me, I had two performers that kind of stood out. And like I said, once more, I'm trying to find people who I don't normally pick on. And so this week, I chose Nina. I may have chosen her last week too. I can't remember. But I chose Nina this week. And because I kind of like the way she was kind of speaking with Willow. But at the same time, I like the way she was not bonding, but wants to work with Carly, and I kind of like the way she was kind of doing both things. But anyway, so I like Nina this week, and then I also like Lucas. Lucas kind of, he's the character. I know he's the side character right now, but he has some nice moments with Carly this week, and he and I think Liz also. But anyway, I like the way he kind of working. Oh no, I'm sorry, Maxie. I like the way he was kind of working with everyone this week. So Lucas was my second performer of the week. Brandon, who did you pick for your performers of the week?
So I definitely have also been trying to divvy it up, and I was looking far and wide into this week. I took a lot more notes than I normally do, but after thinking a little bit, I'm going to go with someone who may not have been on screen a lot, but I think had a good impact this week.
Who's that?
I'm going to pick Rocco.
Oh, that's very true. I didn't even think about Rocco. Yes. Go ahead. Do you want to expand upon your reasoning a little bit?
Yeah. So for me, I feel like Rocco almost gets the not only the best performer, but the brother category as well that I'm just making up here. But I mean, he told Danny, but he told Danny what he thought he needed to hear. But when he realized that might be able to get him in trouble, he immediately told Jason and Sasha, and I like that he is there for his siblings, even though they may not be related by blood. And so I really like the dynamic that he and Danny had. And so, of course, honorable mention goes to Danny. But I think both of them really shine this week.
All right. That sounds really good. All right. Now let's go on to amusing scenes of the week. Molly and Cody kind of go for me initially. I like the rooftop scene. I thought it was kind of cute. And throwing the pants down, that was a great way to get someone's attention. So I like Molly and Cody on the roof. And then Jason and Tracy. Once more, I always like their dynamic together. And so I did like them together this week, especially when Tracy was talking about who was the father of the baby. And then I like the, as I mentioned earlier, I like the scene between Lucas and Maxie. I like that Maxie's trying to set up Lucas. I just thought it was a kind of a cutesy scene. So those are my three amusing scenes that I thought about. Brandon, what about you?
Okay, so for me, for my main number one, the one that I think wins the prize, I have a few runner-ups, but the one that wins the prize to me is Lulu being in charge of Bobby's.
Oh yes, how could I forget about that? That was funny.
But yeah, so she was just in charge for just a little bit, and somehow managed to almost burn the place down with a piece of toast, get everyone's orders wrong, not take some people's orders, and so it was just so fun. And she let the cook go on break and didn't watch toast.
Yes, and I like that Dante came in too. I thought they kind of played that well together.
Yes, so I really enjoyed that, and I like a lot of the one-liners that happened this week. Some of my favorite ones were with the exchange of sort of like Luke, what was it, Lucas, Carly, Brennan, and Maxie, such as Maxie being exclusively referred to by Brennan as Frisco Jones' daughter. It's like I have a name, and also Lucas telling Carly Um, that Brennan is no good, and Carly's like, "Well, I highly doubt that he's going to steal a baby."
Yeah. Yeah, so those are really good one-liners. So thank you for bringing up those.
Of course.
And then I have the heartwarming scene. For me, the heartwarming scene this week was really Jason and Sasha. When they spoke together and she kind of explained how she wanted to use and kind of needed to use Jason to be the father in order to protect Michael. All right, Brandon, and that's the one that stands out for me. What about for you?
So I'm going to use those same two people, but I'm going to say that for me, my scene is Jason, Sasha, and Danny.
Okay. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right. And then we have a new category here, and you brought this one up, and you said brave move, meaning like what character did something that they probably shouldn't have done. And so for me, that was Danny and Cyrus. When Danny went down to Charlie's to threaten Cyrus, I mean, Danny's a teenage boy. I don't know what he thought he was going to do to Cyrus. But but yes, I thought that was a brave move on Danny. Then at the same for Danny, then at the same time for Jason too. Even though Jason's the quote unquote enforcer, but he did threaten Cyrus with witnesses. All right, Brandon, what were your thoughts for brave move?
What? Jason is an enforcer? I thought he was a coffee importer.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's a coffee importer.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. Brave mood, bold mood for Danny, and then for runner up, I'm gonna say Kai too, because Kai just went up and like confronted Cyrus after he saw all of that. I mean, I don't know what Kai's getting himself into there.
I thought, Danny, I would say brave. Kai, I would say that was just a dumb move. But, so anyway, because Cyrus knows what he did, so he can understand where Danny's coming from. Because Danny may have done some harm. Kai, I don't know what Kai would have done with his arm and broken back. I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's go on to our fast forward moment. For me, Kai and Trina were the fast forward moment this week, along with Emma and Gio. I don't even think I have to give you reasons. They just are. All right, Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, to me, I'm okay with Kai and Trina, but Gio and Emma, I'm not quite sure where they're going with this right now. I did notice one of their scenes that Emma point out that Gio and Dante had some of the same facial features, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, we got a whole reveal last week or 2 weeks ago. Was that last week? And
I think it
like
was
nothing has
last
come of
week.
it thus far.
Yeah. Well, I think we were missing Lois this week to even go further with that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely interesting there.
All right. Then welcome back. Welcome back to Elaine and Mavis. I know they're not central characters, but it was kind of fun to watch them. All right. Did I miss a welcome back?
Also, welcome back to Donna and Avery.
Oh, yes. Donna and Avery were both on here this week. And actually, I think welcome back to Danny and Rocco, too. I know they're here and there, but this week they were more here. So welcome back to them, there, too. All right. Now we got to go to the where are they? Um, First of all, where are they in regards to Drew? Drew was not in this week. Mac, don't know where he is. Always have to list Kevin. And Laura was out this week too. Brand, did I miss any central characters who were out?
No, that's about it. Although I will make my note that that seems to just go into the void, and that is that Sidwell was mentioned to go to the pharmacist, but yet the pharmacist still seems to be on the run. So
And then next week, what are we looking forward to? For me, of course, Sidwell and Natalia. I kind of want to see where they flush this out. Here's my prediction. I'll go ahead and record and say this. I think that Sidwell is the father of Blaze and the brother, and it makes me wonder if both of them are coming back. That's just me thinking, or whether or not the brother will kind of come into town because we know Sidwell's, if he's not mob related, he's doing something illegal. But anyway, so that's what my question is for next week. Will they actually flush this out, and will they do a good job of flushing this out? And then next week also, I want to know how many people will be in jail or questioned by Anna. That is my question, because apparently no one is missing. No one has noticed that Jocelyn is missing, and Jason is just kind of visited by, a not lawyer but yet lawyer. So I don't know if he's got remains there. If they put, I don't know. Anyway, those are my questions for the week. Brandon, what about you?
And will those detectives of Anna's, actually start following directions?
Oh, that is good. That is true too. I mean, will they actually follow her orders? Because Anna did amuse me with all the way she was kind of questioning everybody and then realizing that no one is doing the job that they're supposed to do and keep things confidential. So yes, so that'll be interesting to see if she does have any new detectives, because we see that Mac is back. So makes you wonder if Mac's going to listen too.
Yeah, and to add on to what you're saying about Sidwell and Natalia, I would like to see, because to me, I mean, I know. See, I don't think the show will even treat it like it's supposed to be some big twist, because usually that is reserved for the final scene, and that wasn't the final scene. So, I mean, we had sort of predicted that they were going to be together in somewhat, and I did rewatch the scene after the reveal, and you can actually see Natalia try to slip out of the meeting almost as soon as Sidwell entered, and then she had her back turned to Sidwell for almost the entire meeting. I'm not sure if you noticed that.
I did notice that. I did notice that she slipped out, and Sidwell even made a point at when they met up at the car that he was, he made that comment about it.
But yeah, so I definitely would love to see Blaze return, but I would actually like to see that Natalia is behind the operations.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Of course, I wish I'd done it now on camera, but we talked about that, and I kind of mentioned that I thought that Natalia was involved with quite a few things, because she has not had a storyline besides helping Sonny. And what better way to get into Sonny's pop to get into Sonny's business, I should say, than to kind of make yourself there and to get rid of the daughter or move her out of the way so that she would not be involved with Sonny, meaning I'm referring to Blaze. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they twist this. And then also, now that Sonny's gone to the doctor, it makes you wonder about this doctor that Sonny saw, and what they're really telling him.
Yeah, and the fact that immediately after leaving the doctor, he no longer needs his pacemaker.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and to add on to it, speaking of Sonny's business, is Christina going to take over?
Oh, Christina seems like she's the one to take over.
Yeah, and what was up with the whole meeting between Christina and Lulu?
I don't know what that was about. I That was an odd conversation for me to listen to. And then she had to run out in the midst of everything. So I'm not quite sure what Lulu's trying to do. Um, but yeah, that was just, to me, it was just odd and kind of out of place. So it does make you wonder what they plan to do with those two characters.
But yeah, and I did want to make a small note for the random doctor's appointments that we saw. So Cody somehow has metal in his finger on Thursday's episode, and then on Friday's episode, that Sidwell is at the doctor because of a tick.
Yeah, there. Yeah, last week I had missing scenes, and maybe I should have included that one too for this one. But I think if you can have these people go to the doctor, at least we could do is see them be injured.
So yeah, definitely a bit odd. I don't know where they're going with this. I mean, I think it was a pretty interesting week, all things considered. But in the same regard, not a lot happened, but yet there were a lot of people here.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in these scenes for scenes of not much. But anything else that you'd like to discuss today, Brandon?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think that we covered it for the most part. Oh, and I will say for an amusing scene that we didn't mention is Elizabeth, because she specifically told Rick that she did not want to find any crimes during this walk, and somehow she found 2 crimes in a day.
I know. Poor Liz. She'll never go on a walk again. All right. All right. We want to thank everybody from listening today. Feel free to subscribe. We see you're listening, and we will see you next week. Everybody, have a great day.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye bye.